Welcome to Booknest, a sanctuary of calm and curiosity. Here, stories gently unfold, inspired by philosophy, science, and timeless questions about existence. We slow the mind, awaken wonder, and invite quiet reflection. If you find peace in pondering the profound, please like and subscribe to join this gentle journey. Tonight's story, Is Nothing You See Real? Does the Brain Create the Universe? Beckons us to question the nature of reality itself. We explore how our senses shape a world meant for survival, not truth, and gently unravel the mysteries of perception, consciousness, and the illusion we call existence. In a 1888 engraving, a seeker peeks beyond the world's veil, a sky's curtain lifted to reveal the vast unknown. This ancient image spins a quiet invitation to look again, beyond what is visible, to wonder what lies beneath the shimmering surface of our everyday experience. What if the world we know is but a thin curtain, a veil stitched by senses that filter rather than reveal? Our perception is not a mirror, but a delicate construction, rendering a version of reality tailored not to truth, but to survival's subtle demands. Our senses hum quietly, attuned to edges and contrasts that matter for living, shapes and colors that keep us safe, sounds that signal danger or delight. They do not unveil the cosmos. Instead, they weave a pragmatic narrative, a survival story coded in the language of light and sound. Through the lens of science, this delicate veil begins to shift. Neuroscience reveals a brain not simply recording the world, but actively crafting it. A storyteller sculpting a reality adapted through eons of evolution, favoring usefulness over accuracy, mystery over clarity. Philosophers and visionaries whisper that the universe's true nature is stranger than any tale. The solidity we trust may dissolve into quanta, probabilities, and shadowy dimensions, where observation itself shapes what can be seen. A cosmic dance of existence and perception intertwined. Imagine consciousness not as passive witness, but as an artist painting the scene, every glance folding reality in upon itself. What if seeing is creating, and the universe is not a backdrop, but a living tableau moving to the rhythm of minds gazing into its depths? Serene yet unsettling, this inquiry beckons us inward, to the quiet theater of the mind where perception and reality blur. We stand at a threshold where certainty dissolves into wonder, and the night invites us to linger longer, to ask if what we see is truly what is. Our senses, imperfect guides, offer a version of the world not for knowledge but for life. This gentle unraveling of certainty unveils the delicate balance between illusion and truth, a soft awakening to a reality that may be shaped as much by our observation as by what lies beyond. We drift deeper into thought, carried by the quiet unfolding of possibility. As the veil lifts incrementally, the universe reveals itself less as a fixed stage and more as an endless symphony of perception, where every note is played softly within the mind's vast, uncharted spaces. In this twilight of understanding, the world waits in gentle silence. We do not rush to answers. Instead, we linger in the question. What if reality itself is a delicate dream woven by the brain, a shimmering illusion shaped by every gaze, every breath, in the quiet theater of existence? Our senses are ancient storytellers, whispering tales wrapped in colors, sounds, textures, and scents. They gather whispers from the world and shape them into narratives the brain believes. Yet what we perceive is not raw truth, but a subtle dance of interpretation and omission, a filtered portrait painted by evolution's brush. Sight, like a skilled artist, blends light and shadow to create an illusion of continuity. Our eyes capture fragments, yet the brain weaves a seamless image, hiding gaps and smoothing edges. This silent collaboration sketches a reality that feels whole, masking the fragments and edits beneath its fragile surface. Sound drapes the unseen with feeling and depth, bending moments into echoes and silences that hint at meaning. The brain sorts and stitches these waves, interpreting patterns shaped by context and memory. Yet what reaches our ears is never the world itself, only a narrative constructed to guide our survival and understanding. The scent of earth after rain, the hint of jasmine on a breeze. These are ancient messages etched into chemical whispers. Olfactory senses spark memory and emotion, weaving a tapestry where past and present mingle. But the brain filters, shaping these signals into stories that remind us of what matters, silently choosing what to reveal and obscure. Touch is the most intimate storyteller, grounding us in the present with textures, temperatures, and pressures. Our skin gathers this raw data, yet the brain elaborates, blending feeling with expectation and context. In this way, what we touch is a layered narrative, a crafted interface between body and world, always veiling more than it reveals. Neuroscience reveals our senses as translators rather than witnesses, converting raw reality into coded signals. These signals are passed and reconstructed into understandable narratives, never showing us the full complexity lurking beneath. Our perception is a simplified interface, evolved to keep us safe, not to grant us access to truth hidden in the depths of existence. Nature offers illusions that remind us of our senses' limits. A mirage shimmering in the desert, a chameleon blending with leaves. These phenomena highlight the brain's talent for crafting reality as a useful fiction. We are gifted with perception tuned not for truth's entirety, but for a survival tale, a filtered glimpse behind the cosmic veil. The brain edits sensory input, excising noise, filling gaps with expectation. This editing is seamless, often unnoticed, creating a smooth experience where missing fragments remain unseen. What we call reality is a story written gently in the brain's quiet chambers, shaped as much by absence as presence, light as shadow. Our senses ask philosophical questions. What is real, and what is just a shadow cast by perception? They reveal not a mirror, but a canvas. Observation and interpretation play in tandem, crafting a universe that is as much a story told by the mind as a place we inhabit. An artful dance between observer and observed. Consciousness itself may be a stage where these sensory stories unfold, a place shaped by quantum flickers and neurological rhythms. The boundary between inner and outer blurs, inviting the question, are we witnesses to a mind-created universe, or participants in a reality shaped by the act of seeing, hearing, and feeling? Evolution has tuned the senses not to truth, but to what keeps us alive. Shapes that hint at danger, sounds that warn or soothe, smells that signal life or decay. This selective tuning veils the fullness of existence. Our perceptual interface is survival's construct, a lens deliberately fogged and focused to navigate the world's shifting tides. As we drift through these sensory tales, a quiet question lingers in the dim light. What if reality itself is nothing more than the story our senses compose? A hymn sung softly between neurons, a delicate illusion woven from whispers of light, sound, touch, and memory, carrying us gently toward deeper reflection and perhaps repose. Through the veils of evolution, perception emerges not as a mirror, but as a crafted prism, shaped by usefulness rather than absolute truth. The world we see is filtered, sculpted by survival's gentle hand, urging us to ask, what does it mean to truly know, when vision bends to life's relentless demands? Donald Hoffman's lens reveals a startling truth. Natural selection prizes survival's convenience, not the unveiling of reality's hidden face. Imagine creatures dwelling in vastly different dimensions of perception, each tuned uniquely to endure, a testament to senses as tools, not windows, inviting us to ponder the delicate dance between existence and knowing. If survival were the goal, might seeing the world as it truly is prove perilous? Consider a blindfolded predator, navigating invisible hazards with caution born of instinct. Our senses, then, are not narrators of truth, but guardians of life's fragile thread, whispering survival rather than revealing raw, unfiltered reality in its infinite complexity. Across forests and oceans, diverse creatures reveal endless variations of perception, each shaped to thrive in its realm. Some perceive light invisible to us, others listen with subtle vibrations far beyond human reach. In each difference lies a story of adaptation, a reminder that what we perceive is a crafted survival suit, not a universal truth. The senses, like an artist's brush, paint a world shaped for action and safety, not for metaphysical clarity. This evolutionary artistry asks quietly, why see the world in its raw chaos when a simplified, survival-oriented portrait suffices? Perhaps truth is a luxury, and our senses are daily negotiators between complexity and survival's gentle imperative. Imagine walking through a dense forest without your usual vision, relying instead on echoes and scents, your perception reshaped. Each creature's experience is a bespoke interface, evolved not to reveal absolute reality, but to offer survival in a world both beautiful and treacherous. Here, knowing is less about truth, more about thriving. Our minds, equipped with senses honed by millions of years, build a reality that is practical, not pure. What we see, hear, touch, or sense is a modeled construction, optimized to keep us alive. Each moment is a meeting of biology and necessity, a dialogue between what is useful and what might lie forever beyond our grasp. Hoffman's thought experiments invite us deeper to question, what if all perception is a desktop interface, icons masking the invisible machinery beneath? Survival is not served by revealing mechanical truths, but by highlighting those signals that matter most. In this light, reality becomes a story we live inside, not one we fully uncover. Reflection arises gently as we follow the quiet creatures adapted with unique senses to their worlds. A bat's echo, a bee's ultraviolet vision, a fish's electric fields. Each whispers a vital secret, that survival molds perception, and perception molds reality. We are invited not to rush, but to sit with this unfolding glimpse of the cosmos. In the stillness, the question lingers. Is our reality a veil, woven with threads of usefulness and shaped by survival's subtle hand? To see the universe as it is, if such a thing exists, might unravel that delicate balance. Instead, our senses shield a more profound mystery, one that invites quiet curiosity instead of frantic urgency. The evolutionary lens reframes our understanding, painting perception as a dance between life and illusion. The world we inhabit is a crafted resonance, an interpretation tuned to keep the fragile flame of existence flickering in the vast dark. And so, in this twilight between knowing and mystery, we find space to wonder and breathe. As shadows lengthen and thoughts settle, we hold the discomfort of uncertainty without hastening resolution. Our senses, imperfect custodians of survival, encourage a gentle pause, a quiet invitation to embrace not answers, but the beauty of the unsolved. In this evolving story of perception, perhaps the deepest truth is the question itself. Beneath the surface of what we perceive lies a delicate dance of particles, their existence shimmering only when observed. The boundaries between observer and observed blur, inviting a quiet wonder at the fragile threads weaving reality's tapestry. Could it be that seeing breathes life into the very fabric of the universe? Within this mystery, quantum whispers suggest the world collapses into form from endless possibility. Here, certainty dissolves into shimmering potential, where particles play hide-and-seek with our gaze. The universe, it seems, is less a solid stage, more an unfolding story told between the eye and the unseen. We float gently through these scientific riddles, arriving at the edge where physics meets philosophy. Is reality a fixed truth, or a fragile construct shaped by the curious eyes that behold it? Observation becomes an act of creation, an intimate dialogue between consciousness and the world it calls its own. In this fragile dialogue, the question lingers. Might our universe be a reflection, a projection of minds colliding with the unknown? Simulation theory, once a shadowed spectre, emerges not as a spectre of fear, but as an invitation to marvel, to wonder, and to embrace the enigma without resistance. The brain, our silent architect, weaves senses into stories, bridging the unseen and the known. What if this inner narrative, this delicate construct, is all we truly grasp? Our perception, tuned not to truth itself but to survival, sketches landscapes colored by necessity and mystery alike, inviting humility in their quiet splendor. Here, amidst the glowing twilight of understanding, we lean into questions more than answers, allowing uncertainty its gentle reign. To sit with mystery is its own practice, a quiet art of presence, where the mind slows and the heart opens to the vast uncharted waters of existence. Particles unknown, consciousness deep. Each moment invites us to feel the subtle pulse of the cosmos within. The universe breathes through us, an endless unfolding of light and shadow entwined. In this awakening, reality becomes a mirror held softly to the mind's eye, reflecting possibilities beyond measure or form. Our senses are not windows, but veils woven by evolution's hand. They do not reveal the world as it is, but shape it with whispers and shadows. What we see may be a protective tale, ensuring survival more than truth, crafting safety from chaos in the fragile web of being. Floating along the horizon where science yields to wonder, we find a quiet reassurance. The unknown need not frighten. Instead, it calls us to gentle curiosity. Reality's mystery opens into a soft embrace, an invitation to dwell with questions, to breathe slowly and find peace amidst what cannot yet be named. Consider the dance of photons, flickering in and out of form at presence's touch. This delicate interplay whispers secrets of a universe less physical and more poetic. A reality sculpted not just by stars and atoms, but by the observer's gaze, painting existence with the brush of awareness and silence. The profound journey inward shows us that consciousness, may be the loom weaving the patterns of what we call reality. Each thought, sensation, and intention threads the fabric, revealing worlds within worlds. We are both dreamers and dreams, crafting infinite landscapes that shimmer as long as we dare to witness. So here we rest, at the gentle edge of knowing and unknowing, cradled between wonder and quiet acceptance. To sit with mystery is to honor the vast unknown, a soft surrender to the whispers of existence that invite us to simply be, gazing into the endless folds of a universe still unfolding. As night deepens, a gentle silence settles over the world. What we perceive, ever shifting and fragile, is but a woven story crafted for survival, a delicate truth whispered without certainty. There is grace in not knowing, in letting the edges blur where facts dissolve into mystery, inviting us to simply be. Beyond the veil of familiarity lies an unknown vastness, where certainty loosens its grip. The stories our minds tell protect and sustain, yet the fabric beneath remains elusive, shimmering just out of reach, a quiet dance between what is seen and what forever hides beneath the surface of experience. To embrace the not known is to open a window to wonder. The restless search for answers softens, replaced by the gentle unfolding of questions that have no end. Here, curiosity blooms quietly, a tender companion on this path of endless discovery, where each step invites deeper reflection without demand. Reality, as we clasp it, slips through our fingers like soft shadow. Our senses filter and shape what we call truth, a lens colored by necessity and survival rather than objective clarity. This fragile construct asks us not to solve, but to listen, to the world's soft sighs and unscripted poetry. The stories we live by are gentle lanterns in the dark, not maps to a final destination. There is quiet beauty in the acceptance that some mysteries resist the pull of explanation. Within this delicate not knowing lies a peace that words cannot capture, a space to rest beyond the reach of certainty. What if the yearning to understand is itself a story we tell? An echo reverberating across the vastness of existence, never quite touching the truth it seeks. In gently releasing this grip, the mind softens, becoming a vessel for awe and quiet joy, even amidst the shadows of uncertainty that frame our days. Each question we carry folds into the next, a seamless journey with no final answers. The rhythm of this journey is slow and tender, inviting stillness rather than urgency. To hold space for wonder is to honor the mystery nestled deep within the heart of what it means to be alive. Underneath all our searching, reality's whisper hums softly, a current unseen but deeply felt. These murmurs of the unknown weave through our thoughts, tracing patterns that defy neat definition. They guide us gently to a place where the mind pauses, breathes, and surrenders to the quiet enchantment of existence. We are travelers on a path where certainty fades and the horizon blurs with possibility. To rest in such uncertainty is not surrender, but an act of quiet courage, a trust that the tender questions themselves carry meaning, and that the beauty of the unseen can bloom in the stillness we embrace. Even as the darkness closes in, there is light born from wonder, a soft illumination kindled by the heart's acceptance. The mysteries beneath the surface pulse gently, an eternal hum that invites us home to ourselves, where peace dwells in the interplay of shadow and light, silence and unspoken truth. To live well is perhaps to live in the embrace of questions, where each moment offers a glimpse beyond the veil. Here the journey itself brings its own quiet grace, and the story of our existence unfolds in gentle rhythms, ever softening the sharp edges of what we thought we knew. So now, gently close your eyes and rest in the wonder that lingers beneath all knowing. The universe's quiet whispers will carry you through the night, reminding you that some mysteries are not meant to be solved, but cherished as endless murmurs of the soul's infinite journey.